Alright, we're going to see how long my voice holds out. See how many reviews we can get to here on the couch. Yeah, Cleo up there. She'll probably come down in a bit. Depends on how long this goes for. So, anyway, let's start off with some aliens. We're going to finish the Mark Virden trilogy. It's called Earth War. Now, this one was also a four-issue miniseries by Mark Virden, artist Sam Keith, colorist Monica Livingston, and letters were done by Jim Massara and Pat Brosseau. In it, Ripley's back. She's got a plan to take the Queen Mother from Xenomorph Prime. Yes, there is now a Queen Mother who's the queen to all the Queen Xenomorphs. Yeah. We had to have an even bigger bug. We're going to take her from Xenomorph Prime, put her on Earth to lure out all the Xenomorphs, and then nuke them. That's pretty much it. What did I think of Earth War? I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. So, the big thing in this is Newt's psychic. It has a connection because of the Queen Mother. This is not really explained. It's just some people have connections to the Xenomorphs and others don't. I don't know. It's a thing that's been going on for this whole trilogy. It's just Nightmare Asylum really didn't bring it up. There's another little girl that's stuck on Earth, and Newt's like, oh, it's like how I was in Aliens. We gotta rescue her. So that's kind of Newt's plot. Hicks is just there. And we got a bunch of new characters that aren't, quite frankly, aren't worth talking about. There's tension between Ripley and Newt because Ripley abandoned Newt. We find out that Ripley was basically blackmailed into helping Weyland-Yutani cover everything up. And she went rogue. And now that's why she's helping. Why that took like 20 years, I don't know. Or couldn't tell you. But this is kind of a lame ending, if I'm being completely honest. It feels incredibly anticlimactic and stupid at the same time. So having a queen mother, a bigger queen alien, is just a dumb concept. The fact that the xenomorphs come from Xenomorph Prime, I hate that. It's kind of like how the Yautja come from Yautja Prime. I don't care for that either, but I'll take that on account of the Yautja are intelligent. Xenomorphs are bugs. Like, sure, the Queen Mother and the Queens have some intelligence, but they're animals. Like, they're primarily two things. They eat and they breed. That's it. They just constantly reproduce and they colonize and take over things. That's it. That's all they do. I don't get why we have to have bigger bugs. I don't get it. It's not the dumbest thing in the Aliens franchise. I mean, I can name off like several that were written by Titan Books that are dumber than this, but this is pretty dumb. Yeah. The art. The art is sometimes pretty decent and sometimes awful. It just depends. Quite frankly, it's probably the sloppiest art of these three books, three comics in this trilogy. Um, didn't care for it overall. Honestly, it made me not want to read Aliens for a while. I had to like take a break. But yeah, this kind of was not enjoyable in the slightest. It was out of like these Mark Virden comics, out of all of his work that I've read, this is probably the most of a slog. This might be his worst work I've read. It's just not good, and it falls short. Uh, the space jockey's back briefly, but for no real apparent reason. And at the end, just kind of sucks. Like, I honestly get why this got retconned. I've been wondering this for a while, and because for the longest time, well, back in the early 90s, they retconned all this. And that's why we have the Steve Perry novels, which are technically tie ins to Alien 3. But they didn't have new material out, so they just threw out Hicks and Newt and changed them to Wilkes and Billy. And that's why this was retconned. But even still, this isn't canon now. I guess this is just the beginning of the Aliens timeline just being a complete mess. I don't know. Is this worth your time to read? If you're a hardcore Aliens fan and a fan of like late 80s, early 90s comics, then check this out. It's very disappointing though. And let's get into our differences between these two. Like with Nightmare Asylum in this, this edition, this 30th anniversary edition, it's on matted paper, whereas the Marvel Omnibus is on glossy. This reads more like a graphic novel, where this is broken up issue to issue. So, not a lot. Those are really the only differences with Earth War. Which do I recommend? Whatever's the easiest to get. You're going to. Yeah, you're not going to be disappointed in the physical quality of either of these. But yeah, what would I rate this? I give it a 3.3 out of 5. It's significantly worse than anything Mark Virden's written Aliens-wise, or even his Predator stuff. So, anyway, have a good one.